Welcome to Grant Writing Made Clear. The truth is, the grant writing process isn't always clear, but with the right guidance, proven actionable strategies, and expert insights, the process becomes easier, simpler, and yes, clearer. I am Dr. Trenette, your host of Grant Writing Made Clear, and a former nonprofit president turned distinguished professor and behavioral scientist with 2 decades of grant writing experience. I remember what it was like to be a busy nonprofit leader with little time but big financial sustainability concerns. Over the years, I have transformed my skills from securing $1,000 foundation grants to winning multi-million-dollar federal grants. I created this podcast in response to the grant writing coaching requests I've received from nonprofit leaders, entrepreneurs, and professors over the years. Join me each week as I reveal insider strategies and share key lessons that turn wishful thinking into winning applications. Pull up a seat and get ready to be inspired, empowered, and transformed. Whether you're a beginner or a pro looking to sharpen your skills and create a life you love, you're in the right place, my friend. Let's get started. Hello and welcome back to Grant Writing Made Clear, where we navigate the complex world of funding together and where your growth and impact are my purpose. I am your host, Dr. Trenette. Today's episode is personal. Today, I wanted to let you know that I have been thinking about something and praying about it and planning for it. And it is this. I'll be stepping away from the podcast for a summer sabbatical. And I wanted to tell you why, what I'll be doing instead, and how you might also consider your own version of rest, alignment, or recalibration. To be clear, I am not stepping away from everything. I'll still be wrapping up my NIH R01 that ends in July, and I'll be lightly involved in our Facebook community. Have you joined, by the way? So I'll be lightly involved in our Facebook community, but I am intentionally creating space to pause in areas where I can. And perhaps you're wondering why. And it's because sometimes the wisest next step for us, I believe, is to pause. And not just pause, but pause on purpose and pause with purpose. Not because you're giving up, but because you're choosing to realign with what matters most. So this past semester has been one of the most intense seasons of my career. I've been working hard. I've been grant writing, writing manuscripts. I've been planning next steps, submitting grant proposals, building this podcast, of course. I've been nurturing my team and doing my best to show up for my students, colleagues, and the communities that I serve. And yet, I've also been trying to care for myself in the margins. That's something I want to be honest about. If you've been listening here for a while, you know that I care about self-care. And often I encourage you to prioritize your wellness. And I've done what I could this past semester, right? I've done nightly bubble baths. If you know me, you know I love my nightly bubble baths. By the way, that started when I had my babies. I had them close together, 17 months apart, and it was really busy. It was a busy season for me. And so the one thing that I claimed for myself during that time was to start doing nightly bubble baths. And I have continued that practice. And it really is, for me, one of the ways that I take care of myself. And so I've been doing that. I've been doing my nightly bubble baths. I've been having daily chats with some of my closest friends, and I've been enjoying moments of quiet joy. But guess what? It was not enough. not enough for a season this demanding. And here's the reality. The reality is you can value self-care and still not have time to get all the self-care that you want and need. Life is not perfectly balanced all the time. And I am not here to pretend otherwise. We don't always get a perfect score in every area, and that includes self-care. I am human. I'm human just like you. And so now it's time for me to take a fuller pause, a pause that allows me to reset, recharge, and realign with my deeper purpose. And so, yeah, this past semester again has been intense. Over the last few months, I have submitted 4 grant proposals totaling about $13 million, right? One of those grant applications was the largest grant application I've ever crafted. It totaled over $7 million, and it was a community engaged project, very collaborative with the community, and it was a lot of work to pull together, and not just pull together, but pull together quickly. My team was focused. I was very focused. And now, again, we've gotten through that period, that semester, and now I want to be productive in a different way, one that honors my health, one that honors my spirit, one that honors my family and loved ones. And so this summer, I want to choose clarity over constant hustle. I want to choose presence over pressure. And I'm going to choose peace over pushing through. And so, what's ahead? Here's a little bit about my plan. I'll be publishing 4 more brand new episodes throughout June of the podcast. And so I'll be publishing and releasing weekly podcast episodes until the last week in June. And that's when we will take a break in July and August. And while I'm away, I'll replay some of our most popular episodes so that those of you who want to stay connected still have something to enjoy and learn from on a weekly basis. You know, I tell my students that some redundancy is it's okay. It's not always a bad thing. And so maybe if you heard those episodes, you want to hear them again. And so I'll be away from publishing new episodes, but we will continue to have some content delivered via the podcast for those of you who want to keep momentum going. And so I'll be back with new episodes after Labor Day. I'll be refreshed and ready with new thoughts, new ideas. And so I'm really looking forward to that. And again, I'll remain lightly engaged in the Facebook group. I'll be cheering you on from a little more distance, but we'll definitely be cheering you on in the Facebook group. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about what this season of rest will look like for me. Why? Because I, again, want to encourage you to consider rest as well. And so for me, it means moving my body more. It means exercising daily. I have been paying for one gym, and now I'm going to join a new gym that has a kids club at the gym. My children and I toured the gym, and they were very excited to join the kids club, and they are looking forward to it. And so I'll be in the gym exercising while they're enjoying the kids club. I'll be reading more. I love to read, and so I'll be reading more. I'll be reading my Bible. I'll be reading books that I started and never finished. And I've been reading books that have been patiently waiting on the shelf for me to pick up, right? I love to read, but sometimes it can be hard to find time to read leisurely. And so that's one of the things I'll be doing this summer. I will be cooking and baking. And I love to bake, especially. And so I'll be baking with my children. They love to bake, so they'll be in the kitchen. And I'll be traveling some. I'm heading to Europe in about a week and a half. So we'll be going to Paris and London and Brussels, and we'll probably do Disney again. And Great Wolf Lodge is on our list. And if you know me, you know that I love blue space. And so we'll have some blue space in there as well. So we'll be traveling this summer as well. It also means volunteering. So I plan to spend time this summer volunteering
in my community. I'll be in nature. I'll be in nature, getting sunlight, getting good old vitamin D. But I'll just simply be enjoying the people I love. So rest for me is going to be all those things: exercising, reading, cooking and baking, traveling, volunteering, being in nature, and being with people I love. And so, of course, of course, life moves on, right? So that means I'll still be at daily swim team practice. My children are on the swim team, and so I'll still be at daily swim team Monday through Friday and at swim competitions. I'll still be at football practice and dance and all the things. But I'm really excited. I've told my children that this summer our theme is sunshine summers. And so it's going to be a good sunny summer, full of warmth, full of joy, full of intentionality. And so I'm really excited about this time again to really reset and refresh and restore and to go deeper into my purpose. And, this sabbatical is not about an escape. It really is about returning to myself, to what fills me, to what grounds me, to what reminds me that my worth is not tied to productivity. No matter what people try to make us think, I know my worth is not tied to how many grants I get. It's not tied to how many articles and books I publish. It's not tied to how many presentations I give. It's not tied to all of the service and all the things we do, but my worth is simply in being God's child. And so this summer will be a reminder of that. And I cannot tell you how excited I am about the opportunity to just be. And so I want to offer this thought to you who are listening today. You may not be able to step away from everything right now. Guess what? Neither am I. Most of us cannot. But maybe you can step back from something, one thing, even if it's just mentally. What would it look like for you to choose rest on purpose? Rest with purpose. Not when you're at the point of collapse, but when you're clear enough to say, I want to protect what matters. I need to protect what matters. I hope this episode gives you permission not to stop everything, but to start aligning more deeply with the life you actually want. The one that's not just about grants and deadlines. It's not just about productivity. It's not just about what you can do, but one that is about joy and wholeness. So yes, I am taking a podcast sabbatical this summer, and I am inviting you to take care of yourself too. I'll be back next week with another new episode, one of 4 remaining this season. And I hope you'll tune in. Until then, keep showing up, keep learning, and when the moment comes, I want you to pause with intention. Pause with intention. Take care, my friend. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you for listening to Grant Writing Made Clear. I hope today's episode gave you inspiration, confidence, and clear information that you can turn into action. Remember, you are not alone. There's a whole community here striving for the same impact. If you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe, leave a quick review to help more people find the show, and share this episode with others in your network. It really does make a difference. For more grant writing tips and resources, follow me on social media. Until next time, keep showing up, keep learning, and remain determined. I'll talk to you next time. Goodbye for now.